So are you also still generating sponsorship proposals manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to generate sponsorship proposals from event plans using AI. So like you, I also used to manually type and send all these sponsorship proposals to all my potential sponsors. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I'm just going to add the event details into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the sponsorship proposal, and further we are just going to add that proposal into a Google Doc and back again into our Google Sheets. Further, my team can review it and send it towards my potential sponsors. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are just going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to build an AI-powered workflow that automatically turns your event plans into professional sponsorship proposals. Something like this. I'm just going to show you. Over here, you can see something like this. So whether you are organizing a conference, a concert or a charity gala, this AI agent can read your event details like the objectives, budget and generate a compelling, tailored proposal in seconds. It's a game changer for saving time, impressing sponsors and scaling your outreach. So let's dive in and bring your events to life with the help of this amazing automation. So yes, before starting with this, I'm just going to show you the proper working of this automation. For that, I'm just going to enter the event name, I'm just going to enter the event date, the target audience, the expected attendees, the budget, the sponsor tiers, the branding opportunities, and now I'm just going to enter the contact name and the company name. And now once I'm just going to enter all of these details, my AI agent is going to generate me the proposal link right over here. We just have to wait for a few seconds, and using these details automatically my AI agent is going to create a proposal and add that proposal link right over here into my Google Sheets. So we just have to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is generating me the proposal link. And yes, over here you can see that the proposal link has been generated successfully. So I'm just going to open it right from here, and as you can see, the proposal has been generated. So yes, with this you can see that in real time, within seconds, the proposal has been generated, right, which we can further review and send towards the companies. So yes, this is the amazing automation which we're going to create in today's video. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to get started, we are simply going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard, you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I have already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: generate sponsorship proposals from event plans using AI. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select select my trigger application as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row, and now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are just going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we are just going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL, and then I'm just going to open my Sheets, and now over here I'm just going to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in the spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to add an extension which is Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here. So as you can see that it is showing installed right over here because I have already installed this extension. But if you haven't installed this, you're definitely going to get the option of install right over here. Alright, so once you install this extension, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. So it is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet, otherwise you'll not be able to get the Pabbly Connect webhooks option right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, we have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then towards this initial setup. And now it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. Alright, so now for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is I. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. Alright, so over here my trigger column is I. Your trigger column will be according to your own spreadsheet. If you want to send 3 details, it will be C. If you want to send 4 details, it will be D, and so on. And after entering both of these details, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit, and now it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we are just going to do is I'm just going to open my spreadsheet. We are just going to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here you're going to get the button of send on event. So we are simply going to switch on this button which is send on event right over here. Upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in the spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get started. Alright, so now I'm just going to do the test submission after switching on this button. Now I'm just going to enter the event name right over here. I'm just going to enter the event date, the target audience, the expected attendees. I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to enter the budget, the sponsorship tiers, the branding opportunities, the contact name, and the company name. And now with this, we have successfully sent these details towards our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and we are just going to wait for a few seconds till Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. And as you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. Over here you can see all the details which we entered during the test submission. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, which is Google Sheets. And now whenever I'm just going to enter all of these details right over here, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. So now I'm just going to move on further. Now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to move on further and generate sponsorship proposals. For that, I'm just going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI right over here and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And now after opening this page, I'm simply going to go towards this create new secret key button. I'm just going to enter my key name, select the project, and click on this create secret key button. And now my key has been created, so I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're just going to paste this key right over here in our workflow and click on this save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it's asking me to select the AI model, so I'm simply going to select my AI model right over here, which is GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice too. Now it is asking me for the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And now you can see that I've successfully entered the prompt, which is I want to generate a proposal using these details. So now I'm just going to enter my details right over here, but we're not going to enter the details manually by typing it like this, but instead we are just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map the event name right over here. We're just going to move on further. I'm just going to map all of these details one by one. Next, I'm just going to map the event date. One by one, I'm just going to map all of these details right over here. So you just have to wait for a few seconds and map all of these details. And once you're just going to map all of these details, automatically these details will turn dynamic, and with every new response, they are definitely going to change. And now I'm just going to map the sponsorship tires. Then I'm just going to map the branding opportunities right over here. Then I'm just going to move on further and map the rest of the details too, which is the contact name and the company name. And after entering all of these details and mapping all of these details, I'm just going to click on the save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, my AI agent is going to use all of these details and generate me a sponsorship proposal. And yes, over here you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the sponsorship proposal. And now I'm just going to add this proposal into a Google document, and then I'm just going to add that Google document link right over here in my spreadsheet. So to do this, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document. First, we're just going to create a blank document, then we're just going to add the details in that blank document, and then we're just going to add that document link into our Google Sheets. So for that, I'm just going to click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in with Google, Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Docs. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here, and now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document name. So I want the document name to be this sponsorship proposal for, and then I'm just going to enter the company name. So I'm just going to map this company name because this information will be static, but the company name will be dynamic, all right? And I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, we have successfully created a blank document. And now I'm just going to add the details in this blank document. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And for my action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Docs only. So I'm just going to search for Google Docs right over here and select Google Docs right over here. And now it is asking me for the action event. So I'm simply going to select it as append a paragraph to a document. And now I'm just going to click on this button right over here which says connect. And once I'm just going to click on this connect, it is asking me for the same. So I've recently connected my Google Docs account. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And as soon as I'm just going to click on this save, it is saying connected right over here, and now it's asking me for the document. So over here the document is this only, but we are not going to select it right over here manually, but instead we are just going to map it because I want this field to be dynamic. All right, so I'm just going to map this. So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button. It is this document ID, and now I'm just going to map the document ID from the response of my previous step. So I'm just going to look for the document ID right over here, and as you can see that this is the document ID, so we are simply going to map it. And now with this, we have successfully turned this field as dynamic. And now it is asking me to insert the text. So I'm simply going to insert the AI agent generated content and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, it is saying that it has successfully added this AI agent content into my document. And I'm just going to add this document link into my Google Sheets. But before adding this document link into my Google Sheets, I'm just going to make this document a shareable one with the help of Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect right over here. So I'm just going to click on this connect. Once again, it is asking me for the same. So if you haven't connected your Google Drive account, you can go towards this add a new connection, sign in with Google, give Pabbly all the permissions. But I've recently connected my Google Drive account, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save right over here. And after clicking on this save, with this we have successfully connected the Google Drive account to. Once again, I'm just going to map this file ID. So I'm just going to look for the document ID and map it and click on this blue button button right over here which is saying save and send test request. So I'm just going to click on this blue button, and once I'm just going to click on this blue button, with this we have successfully received this web view link. So this is the same link which we are just going to add in our spreadsheet, all right, which is a shareable link. So I'm just going to add another action step. Select my action application as Google Sheets and add that shareable link into my sheet. For that, I'm just going to select update cell value right over here and click on this connect. I've also connected my Google Sheets account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to go towards this add a new connection and then sign in with Google. Once again, you have to give Pabbly all the permissions and your Google Sheets account will be connected. I've already connected, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And now I'm just going to select the spreadsheet, which is sponsorship proposal planner. And now I'm just going to select the sheet. Now it is asking me to enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated. So the range that needs to be updated is this, which is J4. So I'm simply going to enter J4 right over here. But right now it is J4, but with every new response received, it is going to change. It will be J5, J6 and so on. But you must notice that this J is constant, right? So I'm just going to keep this J as static, but I'm just going to map this row index so that row changes with every new response. And now it is asking me for the value. So I'm simply going to map this web view link right over here and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, it is saying that it has successfully added this web view link into my Google Sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see that the sponsorship proposal has been added right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is, like I showed you in the starting of this video, whenever I'm just going to add all of these details automatically, this workflow is going to get triggered. AI agent is going to generate a sponsorship proposal using these details. Further, we are just going to add that proposal into a Google Doc, make that Google Doc a shareable one, and add that shareable link into our Google Sheet so that my team can review it further and send it towards my potential sponsors. So now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.